Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sketch by Sketch. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to this video, and today we're going to be painting on my Illo Sketchbook. I've done this many times in the past, but I always do it with all my sketchbooks. So it is time. This thing is pretty much finished. As you can see, there's like 2 pages left, and we're going to work on those in another video, but I think we're just going to go ahead and do the cover now. I just had some extra time to do it, and it takes a while to dry, so I was just going to go ahead and get it done this morning. So I'm really excited to do this. I think what I'm going to do for the design is kind of like a floral pattern, because this is a sketchbook that I created my original character in. This is the pattern that I'm kind of looking at, and her dress kind of has this daisy pattern on it with the colors yellow, blue, and pink usually. So I think that is what I'm going to go with. I'm not going to try to draw the character on the sketchbook. I think today I'm just going to go with the pattern and keep it simple, but I think it's going to look really cute. I'm going to use this paintbrush here that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I am going to go ahead and blend my colors just to make a little bit more of a pastel look to this. I added some white to all of the colors that I'm going to be using, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix that in, and then we're ready to start painting our pattern. My favorite kind of paint to use is this apple barrel paint from Walmart. I don't really do any really finished paintings or anything, so this cheap paint works great for me because you can get many colors and you don't have to spend that much money, and it's just a great paint for what I'm doing here. Alright, just to start the pattern, I'm just going to draw some centers for the flowers with this yellow. I'm not making them perfect circles, I'm just kind of adding a little bit of shape to them, just to make them look a little more lifelike, and I'm just going to do this throughout the page where I want all my flowers to be. I might have to go back in and do a couple layers, usually because the sketchbook is so dark, the paint just kind of sits on top and it doesn't completely coat it, so usually I have to do 2 coats on this dark sketchbook cover. I don't want to fill the page too much because I want to leave some room to write the sketchbook on it, so we're going to leave that space up at the top for that. Alright, make sure you clean your brush because you don't want to mix those colors in, but now I'm going to go in with the same brush that I used and just create some petals. This I just kind of played around with. I can't say exactly how I did it because I just kind of messed around with it till I liked the way it was looking, but I just tried to create separate petals instead of one just circular shape. So I'm just kind of patting the paint on there, not really swiping it because that makes more a space from the sketchbook showing through, so I'm trying to get it as opaque as possible on the first layer. And then I added a little bit of texture to the outside of the flowers. This on the rest of the flowers, and I ended up just adding kind of more of a cartoony style to the outside of the flowers. I just thought it looked a little bit better, even though I was trying to make the flowers look a little bit more realistic. Just the surface that I was painting on didn't make it look quite right, so I just went ahead and finished off those edges and made them look a little bit more cartoon, and I think that looks a lot better. You can do this on any kind of sketchbook cover. It doesn't have to be an Illo sketchbook. I've seen people do these on the cardboard backed ones or really anything. Certain sketchbook covers you can use markers on. This one of course you cannot. This one pretty much paint is the only thing you can use, but just play around with your sketchbook, see what materials work on it. Keep in mind the colors are going to look a little bit different depending on what medium you're sketching on, so make sure you kind of swatch everything maybe on the back side or on the inside cover. Just play around with it and have fun. Alright, now I'm just going to go in with a second layer of paint over top of that just to make it look a little more finished, and this is making it look really nice, I think. I'm going in with quite a thick layer of paint, but I do have time this afternoon to just let this sketchbook sit and dry for probably 12 hours, so I'm not really worried about the amount of paint that I'm putting on it. That's another tip, when you're going to do this, make sure that you can leave your sketchbook. I really like to, like I said, do it for about 12 hours to 24 hours. Just let it sit, because sometimes the paint will appear dry on the surface, but if you smudge it or bump it against something, the paint will scuff and the underneath layer won't be dry yet. So you just have to make sure that you're going to have time to let your sketchbook set and not mess with it until it's completely dry, just so your drawing stays the way you want it to and you don't mess it up. Okay, here to add that pink color in, I'm just going to take a smaller brush and create these circles, all in different sizes, just kind of mixed throughout the background, just to kind of add a little bit more texture to the drawing and to fill up some of that space that we've left blank. So I'm just going to go in. Some of the circles are going to be covered by the flowers, but some of them are just going to be in the open space. We're just going to play around with this and add them wherever I feel like I need to. And I am using quite a bit of paint here just so they're a little bit more opaque. I tried to make the flowers a little bit bigger towards the bottom edge of the paper, and then as I get towards that top edge where I'm going to put my writing at the end, I'm going to kind of make them smaller and fade out so I will have room for the writing and it'll all look like it goes together. Here you can see I'm adding some of those smaller flower dots. These might be flower petals, I'm not sure. They kind of look like flower petals, I just think it's really pretty. But you can see how I kind of tapered it towards that edge, and I think that looks really nice. Alright, now I'm just going to go in with a second layer on that yellow color. It just needs a little bit more bright color there so we can really see the yellow, and I think this drawing is really coming together. Alright, and I am going to add a little bit of yellow to that background just to kind of tie it all in and make it look cohesive together and like a pattern that really goes together. So I'm adding in the colors in the background as well. I think that looks really nice. And I am going to add some highlights to my flowers. I did add a little bit of shading, but I wasn't recording while I was doing that. So I just took a little bit of black and added it to the blue color just to create a shading color to bring out from the center. And now I'm just going in with white once that's dried, and I'm just going to add highlights all the way around the flowers. I'm also going to add some highlights to the center, the yellow part, and I'm also going to add a little bit of shading on that pink. I wanted to make this pink look like it was kind of behind the flowers, so I did add a little bit of black to that tone and just kind of make it look like it's a little bit more part of the background and behind the flowers. And now, of course, the highlights. Just make sure you have a good clean brush when you do this, and make sure your paint's dry enough, because when you're working with white you want to keep it really highlighted and crisp. So you want everything to be dry, and you want to have a good clean brush for that step. Also going to add a little bit of white to the background, again just to kind of tie everything in. Alright, now I'm grabbing a little bit extra white paint, and I'm going to write sketchbook number 5 up here on the top. I always write what number sketchbook that this is. This is number 5. It's kind of crazy thinking that I've completed 5 Illo sketchbooks, but I have a lot of fun drawing in them, and I usually can complete one in anywhere from 2 months to 6 months, so I've been kind of going through them a little bit more quickly. So hopefully soon I can do a sketchbook tour. I'm really excited. This was a fun sketchbook, and there's some really cool drawings, especially towards the end, that I'm excited to share with you guys. Alright, so I'm just going to finish this up with another layer of paint. I think this sketchbook looks super cute. Right here I'm trying to decide what number the sketchbook was. I totally forgot, and I'm trying to look back at my other videos to try to see. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to finish this up here, and I really enjoyed creating this. Hopefully you were drawing along with me. I had a lot of fun here. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and your notifications are on so you don't miss anything. Make sure to leave me a comment as well. I love chatting with you guys, and I hope to see you guys in another video soon. Bye!